Travel Tuesday. When it comes to checking your bag at the airport, we've been telling you it is getting more and more expensive and it's harder to avoid.
A recent study by IdeaWorks found the top 20 airlines in the world made $33 billion in baggage fees last year. That's up 15% from 2022. To help navigate the cost of new baggage fees and tips on how to pack efficiently, we're joined by David Fishman from Cadillac Travel. Thanks for coming in again.
Thanks for having me.
I can't wait for this packing demo, but first let's talk about these baggage fees. Tell us about what airlines changed these recently and what it really means.
American Airlines started the raise of fees. They started it out, they raised theirs at like 35 and 40, and then United followed up very quickly afterwards. And the only one still left that doesn't charge baggage fees, because we got to get that out there, is Southwest. They don't charge any fees at all. So they're still the ones on the block that, you know, their favorite commercial.
At the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're not charging for the ice cube in your drink, as they say.
Not just yet.
But Southwest has been pretty consistent. You got to give them credit. But all the major airlines have raised it. Delta has not raised it. They're still at $30. When you book online, it's $35 at the airport. So they're still haven't raised it, but they'll follow suit. You know it's coming.
Yeah.
So that's next in line. But you know, when you make $33 billion, it's
staggering amount.
Yeah, I mean that's where they're making their money on all the little things, more than on the big things, trying to keep their airfares down, although airfares, as we know, skyrocketed. So,
and we just had a complete list there of how things vary airline by airline. What kind of strategies do you like to share? What are your biggest tips on navigating these fees?
So the first thing is get the credit card. You know, get the airlines, the American Express credit card, or for Delta, and so that way you'll get your free bags. The other way is if you earn status, a lot of that on your frequent flyer programs. Always sign up for the frequent flyer programs, because that's another way that you can earn benefits and sometimes free bags in that arena. But first and foremost is get that credit card, and that's going to create the savings. Then, of course, there's the bag situation where you carry on. And if you are going for 3 or 4 days, sometimes even 5 days, they even make luggage now that kind of open up into a whole closet, which is pretty cool.
Like the pop-up.
Right.
Yeah,
So
the pop-up.
they make it so like you can pack for 10 days in the pop-up thing, and it has a little hook on it and the whole thing, which is really cool. So there's options in bags that will help you as well, so you can bring those bags on the plane, and so instead of having to check them. So that's an option as well. But the credit card is going to be, first and foremost, is going to always give you the free bag.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't checked a bag in decades. I pack light. I mean, I went to Europe for 10 days. I took a duffel bag. I mean, that's my standard, mode of travel.
But
for people who do need, the bag, obviously there's some packing tips. You have this small bag in front of us. Why don't you tell us about this?
All right, well, first of all, the other thing is bags have gotten lighter. So make sure if you have that old heavy bag, go out there and get the lighter bag, because they charge you up to 50 pounds. So as soon as you get over 50 pounds on Delta, for example, they're going to charge you a lot more.
A lot more.
Been there many times.
It goes from that $30 to like $100 for that bag. So make sure you get the light bags. After that, there's different things. So first of all, packing cubes. And they have many different sizes.
Are you a fan or not a fan of packing cubes? Because I've kind of gone back and forth on these over the years.
I have mixed opinions on it. What's nice, it's great for organization in particular, and sometimes when you pack them, it kind of can compress a little bit. What I do like now is they have these things where you can have this little, it's gotten smaller, where it will literally suck all the air.
Vacuum seal. Yes, I've done that too.
And because now it's become portable, so it's not like once you open it up, you can't do it again on the way home. You can bring that little thing and suck the air out again and get more. The problem is you can get pretty heavy with your stuff, because you can start sucking all the air out and putting more in, and then you get a little carried away. But it does make a difference. So the vacuum cubes I'd like a lot, and I highly recommend them. They're pretty inexpensive.
How wrinkly is your stuff getting there?
Well, that's the next key. So the next key in packing is there's ways to pack better. Okay, to take advantage of, if you don't even have the cubes or whatever, what you want to do is you want to roll. So you can see I roll it up.
This is a space-saving technique.
Space-saving technique.
Have you ever done this, the rolling technique?
I've rolled a few things.
Well, the other thing about rolling is you have less wrinkles, actually. When you smash stuff in and throw stuff in, which people like to do. So roll, and actually fold things so it comes down and smoothly, because instead of smashing it in. And the other thing, put your shoes on the side for multiple reasons. It will take up less space. Okay, it actually does when you put it on the side, or at the end, put it on the top like this, so you also don't get your clothes dirty. And stuff suck in. socks and underwear in your shoes.
Oh, every available space.
Okay, use up
that
everything.
space that people always forget to use. Put it in there, and then if you do those type of things, you'll get more in your bag, and you'll have less wrinkling, and it'd be a much better experience for you when you're traveling. And then if you get the lighter bags, you can put more in, you know. And I think the biggest problem that we have also is a couple things. Bring color coordinated, so you can kind of layer and put less. That it
mix and
becomes
match
more.
your outfit so you can kind of get more.
That's
so we've
what
heard,
you want to do.
We've heard folks talk about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rule. What is that?
Okay, so like you put in, like, well, one other thing that's important. All bulky stuff when you're traveling, you want to wear. Like if you have a winter coat or heavier shoes, like nowadays women have those real big. Those are a pain.
So
Layer it
load
on.
yourself up,
Layer
right,
it
from
on.
top to bottom.
You
Yeah.
ever see the person that ends up being
Oh,
like
yeah.
this big?
Exactly.
They're loading themselves up, so you know. So put the heavy stuff on, but it's like you want to bring like one jacket, you know, 2 pairs of shoes. I mean, 3 pairs of 2 pairs of shoes, then like 3 pairs of pants, and then 4 shirts, and then 5 pairs of socks, and then 6 pairs of underwear. It's kind of like the whole thing for a week.
Okay.
And so you kind of have that numbers that you kind of follow, and what it does, it allows you to gives you an idea of better ways to pack. So if you mix and match your clothes, and then you kind of follow that rule of thumb, and then wear the bulky stuff on the plane. There's another little trick. You can pack an extra like fold-up bag, because a lot of people want to shop on the trips. So bring
Pack a
another
bag in your
pack
bag.
a bag
Yes.
in your
Empty
bag.
bag.
That's taking up
Always.
valuable
Empty bag,
space.
right? But they make really nice ones. There's one called Foldies that you can go online. It goes really small, but it comes up really big. The only problem, and it sits on your rolling bag. So that's
It's
the other
just getting
thing.
that bag back home with all your stuff in it.
That
You know,
one fits in the
yeah.
overhead baggage,
Yeah.
so that's good too. So so that's another little tip as well. So when you're carrying on, though, you do get 2 carry-ons, and what happens is a lot of women carry their purse, and then they have another bag and their carry-on. And the counter police, as I call them, at the gate, oh, no, you got 3. You can't have the purse, so you got to stuff it in your other bag.
Yeah.
Hey, there's rules to follow.
There's rules to
Guilty
follow.
as charged, yes.
Right, and then also have that extra carry-on. I always say have that too, instead of the purse, something bigger to put stuff in, because when you get to the check-in and you check your bag, what's going to happen then is, oh, it's overweight, and some people are pretty lenient. Other people go, nope, it's 52 pounds. Take out the pair of shoes, put it in your bag, and then you'll go through, because that's usually the heaviest.
All good tips.
Great tips.
There you go.
All
Now
right,
you know
thank
how
you,
to
David.
pack your bag in a bag to bring more stuff back on the
There you
plane.
go.